Royal Risings Empire. Although I know some of y'all ain't even up. I don't even know what time. It's after 7 though. It's just dark out still. Y'all know I gets up in the morning. So I done my meditation. Got my candle burning to release good energy. It smells so good. You say, why I burn candles? Everything I do, because I'm a scientist of psychology, I can relate back to psychology. And I can tell you this, my psychology is my spirituality, and spirituality is my psychology. So, yes, I burn candles. Candles, particularly certain scents that you like, and I like certain scents like vanilla, strawberry, coconut. I got a coconut candle here. And burning those candles, the scent is released and it's received. The endorphins in my brain goes off and gives me happy feelings because I love the scent of a candle burning. So psychologically, it's to release the endorphins in my brain. Spiritually, it's because it's a portal to the other side. And sometimes I can burn my candle and communicate, particularly with my son. Do they talk back? Yeah. Yeah. Not like you would think they're talking back, but in a sense that it's calming to you. In a sense that it's calming to you to talk to your loved ones that have crossed over and are resting with the ancestors. Psychologically, it's good for you. That was free. That didn't cost nothing. That's not why I'm here today. I've been gone for about 2 weeks because I literally got the wind knocked out of me after I did a series. Only the first part is on Facebook. You'll have to go to YouTube to hear it. I did a little small beginning series on the energy of the matriarch. And the next day, the wind was knocked right out of me. I was in the courtroom. Some of you saw me in St. Clair County doing what I do as Godmom. Doing what I do as the Empress. Doing what I do as a matriarch. I'm in the courtroom with 3 of my daughters. Each there separately for different things. One I'm there for as a character witness. I'm there from the first thing in the morning, so one just happened to be there and saw me and fell in my arms. And the other one was scheduled for 2 o'clock. And so I was still in the first one and I hadn't been called, so I went into the 2 o'clock. And none of my daughters got good news. It happens. It happens. But it knocked the wind out of me. It knocked the wind out of me. And literally, I've been in a season. How do I put this? I just buried one of my goddaughters who I called the High Priestess of Purple. She was just like me. She only wore purple. Everything she did was, we see life through a purple lens. And I just buried her and laid her to rest with the ancestors. just a month and a half ago, you know. And then I have 3 more of my daughters going through something that I know is not just traumatic for them, but for their children, which also breaks my heart because all of their children call me Nana. It breaks my heart. It broke my heart. And it knocked the wind out of me. And now, I also taught on vibrations. Vibrations go up and down. They go up and down. So you're going to have some low vibrational moments. And man, I was going through a low vibrational moment. I had to call the goddess MJ. I hit her up and I was like, look, I need words. I need words to get me through. And she understood exactly what I was doing. She told me exactly what to do, told me how to do, you know, she literally did something that really helped me with the shower ritual. See, when you're bound by religion, you just miss so much. But now I'm learning, so it's never too late to learn. But the shower ritual is just beautiful because it's like standing in the rain and the tears just fall with the water. And it's cleansing not just your outside, but your inside. And all you're doing is you just let the water just wash you. Just sit in it. You can do it in a tub too. I got a big tub I can sit in from time to time, but I'm telling you, I like learning what I'm learning, but the wind had gotten knocked out of me, and when that happens, sometimes if I don't have anybody feeding me, and I only have people around me that's taking from me or wanting something from me, I have to shut down. So I shut down. I've been shut down. And it's not that I haven't made videos. They didn't have the right energy, and I wasn't going to share them with you. But I have them. He says, so what got me up? And I'm teary-eyed because this is going to be a teary-eyed video. Because when I tell you I know who I am, my babies made me who I am. Those that call me mom and those that call me Nana, they made me who I am. So like I said, I've been down. When I get down, I think, I'm going to go. I talk to my therapist because, I don't trust a lot of people. But, I pay for confidentiality. I talk to my therapist, not to mention I have PTSD. I keep my therapist on lock. And my psychiatrist. But I'm so used to taking care of everybody, and that's who I am. I've accepted it. I don't have a problem with it. I do what I do, and I do what I do in peace and power. But sometimes I need somebody to pour back into me, and sometimes it can't just be anybody. Just anybody. I mean, you could call me and check on me, but just anybody can't just pour into me. You gotta have a certain energy to pour into me. So last night, I get a call from my son, Timotheus. And my son, Timotheus, rarely ever calls me. He rarely ever calls me. Literally, he doesn't. My son, Frank, when he was alive, he'd call me 3, 4, 5 times a day. He was a phone person. Tim's not a phone person, and Tim's very, very... If you know Timotheus, He don't talk a lot. He'll smile and keep it moving. He don't engage a lot of people. He don't have, look, his best friend is his wife. He love his wife. Don't fuck with his wife. Everybody know about he love his wife, period. And but he called me last night because he's going through something. He's going through something himself. Let me take a moment to thank my children, my biological children, because as many other kids throughout their lifetimes that I have taken care of and taken in, some into my home, but they have never, ever, ever given me any grief for it. Literally haven't. They've never given me any grief. They just figure that, they know that's who mom is, and once they got grown, that's who they became. They got godchildren, and so I'm talking to my son. Back to that, I just needed to shout that I love my kids for not having a problem with who I am with my goddaughters and my godsons. They actually support me. They'll actually show up with me. I got a godson that shout out to Mighty Joe. Like when he has a match and he calls me and say, I need to see you. I'm going and you gonna see me in my purple. You ain't gonna miss me. I don't just show up. My whole, me, Micah, Tim, Velma, we all show up. Me, Tamiko, my girl, my other daughters, we'll show up. We show up for each other. If somebody calls one of my, but my kids have never, ever been jealous and never, ever been put off because of what I've done with other kids. And they've always been on board. And I appreciate that. But anyway, my son called me last night because he's going through something. He's going through something. Oh my God. You don't ever want... He's going through something. And let me give you a little backstory that through because of my lack of healing when I went away to college in Atlanta, I came home pregnant and I did not know who his father was. And so recently, in the past 2 years, through Ancestry.com, he and his father have gotten to meet each other. And they've met each other, I don't know how much they talk. I stay out of it. I don't, unless I'm told something, I don't get in that. It's his father's turn now. And he doesn't really need to do anything. I mean, Tim's a good guy. Everybody that knows him knew it. But like I say, Tim's going through something right now. And Tim is not one, literally, he won't even ask me for help. If he'll ask if his brother was still alive and he needed help, he'd go to his brother. So him going through what he's going through triggered a lot of stuff for him. Triggered a lot of stuff for him. So he calls me and said, look, I just need to talk to you. And that never happens because we text. We text. But he's like, I needed to hear your voice. And that scared me. So I jumps up thinking, because I thought I heard him say they beat him down. I jumps up and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Say what you gotta say. Son, I hope you don't mind me telling the story, but there's a reason for it. And so he proceeds to calm me down because, I'm scared already. You're calling me. You're calling me in the evening, at which he never calls me. We always text. We text about any and everything. So I know when he calls me, something's wrong. So I'm getting it out of him. It's hard for him to tell me, like, because he's like really emotional, like literally emotional. And I'm like, son, calm down, son, calm down. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Well, he broke down. Yeah, and I get this with men because there are women like that too. I'm like that. He broke down, and humbled himself really to ask his dad for some help. And just the act of him doing it triggered him. He did it, but it triggered him. And, he was just so emotional. It's like his whole world just fell apart in that moment that he did that. And so I had to, I had to talk to him like I talk to my kids. And if you're one of my kids, I'm a coach all the time. I feel bad for you and everything like that, but I'm going to go for the gut, baby. We got to toughen up. We coming up from the bottom. We going to see some horrible shit. Now, his thing, he wasn't, he contacted me right after he texted his dad. So his dad hadn't even probably seen the text to respond to it. And, but he was just the act of him doing that. Oh my God. As a man with a wife and kids and grandkids, like the act of him doing that just sent him into a tailspin. And I get that. I get that. And any man out there that listening to that, think about what it would take for you to break down and ask a man you don't even know for some help. Think about what it would take for you to do that. And but in the midst of him, talking, he begins in the midst of his chaos. He begins to speak to my chaos. And my son, if you're a single parent, you look back and you regret some things. You do. I don't know. Maybe all parents do. I don't look back and say, wow, I did an excellent job. No, fuck, I didn't do an excellent job. I fucked up. I did. My son has a good dad. He could have grew up with a good dad. Even without me, he got a great stepmom. My son, when I said that, he got mad at me. He got mad at me. And he said to me, Mom, there was nobody that could have been my mom but you. And I had the best mom. And he said, had I grown up with my dad, I would not have had the time with my brother that I had. And I would not have you like I do. And he said a whole bunch of other stuff that just had me bawling because what he did to me was sin. He told me, you did the damn thing. You did what you had to do. And I know my sons. Look, I'm very open with my sons. Like, they saw my flaws. They know about my childhood. They know everything about me. And so for him to like really give me my flowers, like to hear my son say that. See, to hear my son say that, it unlocked me. Only he could have done that. I don't know what will happen between him and his dad, and I'm not going to get into that. That will be life-changing for them. You know what I mean? But last night, my son changed my life. He changed my life. He unlocked me because I was falling into depression, and I was sitting here with my daughter, and I said, look, we got to get out the house now because I'm battling depression. And yesterday it was very sunny here, but I've been sitting in a dark room watching crime stories or listening to books on crime stories and all that stuff, because that's what I do when I'm shut down. And he just came in and gave me the words to get me back up, because there's shit I gotta do. There's some things that I have to do. And my son told me how much he loved me. And you gotta understand that I got a lot of godchildren. I got a lot of goddaughters. I got a lot of godsons. And a lot of them have parents. A lot of them don't have parents. Some of them have parents that were like mine, that my dad was absent. And when he was around, he was a hoe. He only used us so he could cheat on his wife. That felt good to say. My mom, you know my mom. I love my mom dearly. But let's just see, my mom grew up in a time and was right. Look, my mom was raising kids in the 60s and 70s and 80s. You know, some people just weren't meant to be mothers. And my mom was one of them. I'm not going to tell you anything because, you know, let's just say you learn a lot from what people do wrong. So a lot of stuff, a lot of shit my mom did, me and my brothers grew up and we broke those curses and cycles. I don't know what my mom's childhood was like, but what she put us through was mad crazy. Mad crazy and abusive. And what she allowed us to see was mad crazy and abusive. And so me and my brothers decided, you know, we're not teaching our kids that shit. You know, we're not doing that to our kids. You know, that stuff stops. Like, you know, my kids have never been called out their names. I tell a story all the time that my mom called me a bitch so much that if she was in a conversation and she said bitch, I would say yes, huh? Couldn't say huh, because she'd smack the shit out of you. I say yes, ma'am. Just because she said bitch. Like, I'm with these kids who asking questions like, what did these 80 mothers go through? And I'm going to let y'all know in the future what the hell we went through. And the demons we had to fight. You know, we had to fight demons in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 90s, raising kids. We had to fight demons. Not just, we had to fight devils. Big boy devils. A time when everything is shifting. You know, everything changed and shifted in the late 80s. You know. So, I'm going to just say, I can only tell my story, and I will be telling it. So anyway, for my goddaughters don't have, some of them would never even tell their mothers that they love them. Or some of them would never even hear their mom say they love them. You know, there's certain things that I attract. I attract children in trauma. So every one of them came through trauma, whether it was my trauma or theirs. They came through trauma. So they don't have mothers to speak into them. And then when they come to me, that's my job. But my son last night, my eldest son, Timotheus, you know, like he just stood up last night. He was in chaos, completely broken down. But when he heard what I said, he stood up and manned up in this family and said, "Oh, no, wait a minute, mama. Wait a minute, we're not going to do it like that. Because I don't regret my life." I don't regret my life. I just want to be a breakthrough to a different level in life. And so he put me in my place, and then he built me up, and then he unlocked me and said, "Go do what you got to do." And so I'm up doing what I do, because I am going to convince everybody I am to become content creators, because I see the future. And you see it too. It's not really that hard to predict. Most of us are scrolling all day long already. You already got a content creator list. I know I do, that I look for all day, every day. It's not what y'all really think it is, though, but I got a list. I'm going to be on somebody's list. So my son said, "Go forth, go do what you got to do." And I'm up this morning doing what I'm doing. I'm kind of getting a plan to do this, because as I come out into my real message, my real self, I'm attracting young people who know what they're doing as far as building YouTube channels, building podcasts and things like that. They know what they're doing. And so they're working with me, teaching me the language, and we're getting set up to shift to me becoming a YouTuber. So as you can see, my eyes are doing this because today I got 2 devices going for the first time, and I'm not used to it. I don't know which one to look at. So I don't know I got to practice. So I'm going to practice here on Facebook, because look, I want all y'all to go on over to YouTube, but I'm just transferring information from here to there. Starting the beginning of the year, I'm going to start doing stuff regularly, and really delving in. I'm going to start talking about some things that I want to say too much. That's the thing I want to say. So I'm going to just say it's going to shift and become more organized and controlled, and you'll see a lot of stuff, because I got somebody to help me now. See, I know that I do what I do very well. Can't nobody beat me at what I do. I can talk my shit 24 hours a day the way I do it. I can. I am lively. You put me up behind the microphone, I transform. Put me in front of the camera, I transform. Because I do what I do, and I know, and because I know what I'm talking about, because I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. So we are going to shift to YouTube beginning New Year's Day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of resting until then, but I'll still be up doing these videos, because I'm still on a 30-day challenge, and I really only got like 4 days to go on the 30-day challenge, but I done skipped a week and a half, so I'm going to go to the end of the year. So I like this because I'm able to record and then I'm able to go live, on Facebook. So I'm learning how to do this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I look good, don't I? But I'm 60 years old and I've spent most of my adult life in some type of studying in a classroom or certificates or degrees. You can see I got degrees, certificates, all that stuff. And at this point, like, I'm tired of school. I want somebody that knows what they're doing around me so I can do what I do. I make the recordings, I shoot it to you, you do the editing, blah blah blah, and we can go from there, And I appreciate that. I appreciate there's a new follower I have, Kimberly Vertigan. Shout out to you, my dear. Shout out to you. I've been watching her podcast as I was instructed to do by the person that's mentoring me to watch her podcast, and I really appreciate your energy. Literally, I appreciate your energy. And if you like podcasts, go check out Kimberly Vertigan. You can find her on my page somewhere because she all over my page. Because we are connected now. We're connected now, and so I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna have fun with what I do. Let me tell you, because I'm tired of being serious. That's why I wouldn't come on like in the past week. Well, I was too heavy, and when I'm heavy, like my whole body is heavy. When depression is coming down on me, it comes down on me like a weight from my head all the way down my body to the point where I can't get out of bed. Yeah. It was like that. It was coming down. I told my daughter, I was like, my body is feeling heavy. We got to get out this house. And so we were out in the sunshine shopping and doing whatever we could do yesterday just because it's cold. So we could soak up the rays, We could go, we don't celebrate Christmas, but, she likes to buy Christmas gifts for her little godchildren, and she's collecting, and she's got one here with her now. She's got a nephew here with her now. So the little babies belong to the princess. So I want to say, because I know my son's going to watch this, let me just tell you, Timotheus, I love you with my life. And I appreciate you. And I couldn't have asked God for a better son than you. You have broken curses in this family. Literally. You were the first person to get married in this family. We didn't get married in our family, and he broke that curse. Now, me and my brothers, we're still not... Well, I got married. I just, got divorced. I don't think either of my little brothers ever got married. My older brother, well, his don't count. Anyway, moving on from that one, his don't count. It don't count. But my brother and I sit back and we sit back and we're happy because the men in our family are choosing that our children are choosing to get married. And like my son has been married for about 14, 15 years. They just in November celebrated an anniversary. He's been married for about 14, 15 years. My nephew has been married, I don't know how many years, but I think he was married before my son got married. He might have been, but anyway, most of them have been married 10 plus years. And those that are not married, their mindset is marriage. They just my brother is really real with his kids. Don't get married until you're ready. I'm real. Well, I don't got no other sons, but my godsons, I will tell. I got grandsons. My grandson is here, and I told him, but he just got engaged too. But I tell them, look, you don't do that stuff before you're ready. There's for you to take a wife. And I don't care if you did this, if some of us made this mistake, because I did. I got married and I wasn't ready. And it was a disaster because we had to struggle a lot. And shit, it didn't last anyway. It was just, anyway, don't get married before you're ready. Men, I'm talking to my young men. If you know you want to play, don't get married. Don't get married. And let me tell y'all something else. Don't be sending your seed into just anybody and having babies with just anybody. I know y'all think that's our problem, but baby, your seed is God. And you need to look at it like that. Not every woman is worthy of your seed being just freely released in them. You know what? You around here having babies with women you don't even like. Some of you having babies with women you don't even know their names. Because you fast and loose. Y'all got to get some control over that. Get some control over that. But, there's nothing wrong if you don't be free as men. And look, men and women, if you single, be single. Be single. Because damn it, I'm single. And I ain't acting like I'm married. Not right now. Because I just got free to even, I just got free even to like even want to date again. So like I'm enjoying dating. I'm enjoying dating. I literally am, I'm enjoying it, and I don't have no intentions of not enjoying it until somebody comes along and says, okay, I got what you need. I got you. But from what I see with these men, I don't know if it's the ones I'm attracting. You got to have bigger balls than me to get me. Other than that, you might have something I want or I enjoy. Because sometimes you can just enjoy somebody's time and energy. I'm alone a lot, and I like male energy. And that could just be the extent of what I want. just to be in male company. Probably watch the football game. I love that, that just charges me. But anything else, when we on a relationship like that, it's done around my time. It literally is. Functions around what I want, when I want it, and how I want to do it. It has nothing to do with him. You're on my time. You gotta have bigger balls than me. Yes. I own my masculinity. I ain't in here. I don't even care how y'all argue that. I function in pure feminine energy and pure, and I got some masculine energy. I grew up with all boys. I've always been surrounded by men. The only women in my life are daughters, literally. And I've just recently started making, I'm the matriarch in my family. There's no ITs here. It's just me. And so I do have masculine energy. I love it. Because I weed men out like Roto-Rooter. Or what's the name of that place that comes sprays your yard for weeds? Well, they have to come do that where I live. I sit across the table from a man and I can tell whether or not you could just tell. If you're a woman, you could just tell. Like, I'm gonna be running everything. And look, I want somebody that can tell me sit down and be soft. And do what you do. You know, that's my request. That's what I require. But don't mean, men, just because you can't do that, that I will not allow you to be in my presence. I will. You could just be a funny dude, and I love to laugh. You know, you just could be somebody that I'm going to be friends and date, but you can't be my man. You might be able to worship at the temple, but you can't be the priest. If you ever went out with me, you know what that means. I'm not currently looking for a priest for my temple. Come on, look. I'm going to be on here having fun. I can tell you that. And if you all have any questions, let me just tell you, I know there's a lot of people that have grown up around me and that I've impacted, like, and they see me and they're like, you're the same, but I'm not the same. But if you want to know, and I know y'all got questions. I know y'all watching me. I know you hear me, and I'm going to become more and more louder in 2026. All bets are off. All filters will be gone in 2026. I'm embracing who I am. I'm embracing the voice that I have. And I'm embracing what I was trained to reign in. Y'all don't know me. But you will. I'm embracing my calling. I was saved for such a time as this. Because there's people with me, you can't even keep up with me now. Because I'm with them. I'm with the young people now. I think like them. I'm one of them, but a leader. So we gonna do something. You gonna meet some of these my goddaughters next year. You're gonna meet them. Excuse me. You're gonna meet them. You're gonna meet some of them. I'm gonna try to build a podcast that deals with my life as I don't have a title or anything, but in it we'll talk about what it takes to live my life of having strangers in your home 24 hours a day. How do you deal with that? And some of you don't know what to do. We got into an accident in 2011, and my daughter was tragically injured and suffered a broken neck and ended up, thank God she didn't die, but she suffered a broken neck, spinal cord injury, and a traumatic brain injury. And so she is now wheelchair bound. She, in her whole situation. And so that's what happened, where we have been down. But man, I just said that just triggered something in me. When y'all read what we've been through, you'll see why I'm like I am. Look for some things. When I say my son unlocked me, I'm telling you, I'm about to go hard. I'm about to go hard. I'm talking to people that make movies, everything. Baby, I don't care. I would become a TV movie, Tubi movie, whatever. I don't care. I got stories to tell. Stories. And I know how to tell them. I know how to tell them. So keep a lookout. If you want to know, head over to YouTube and follow me on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm kind of confused, so I'm not really seeing. I just did something where I see. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Alicia. On my end, I don't have your I don't know who's all here. I try not to see that when I'm in a flow. So, you can swipe it over and you won't see that. And then I just swiped it back and I see all of you. Thank you for your support, Gregory. Graceland, you're my number one fan and I'm yours. Let's see. Webster, thank you. Cinder Mack, that's one of my homegirls. Deborah Morgan, Oren Brown, Michelle Kendall. Good morning. Royal risings to you all. Now, you all are getting here a little late. I've been here an hour, almost. I've been here 45 minutes already. And I'm about to leave. But before I leave, let me speak something over your day. Because you might be down today. You might need a word today. You might need something to keep you today. So this is what I'm going to speak over you today. I speak the blessing of peace. Peace that passes all understanding. I don't care whatever you're going through. I've got a friend that's down in Tennessee going through a death of his family. I speak the blessing of peace over you. I speak the blessing of peace over every one of you that are going through relationship trauma or any type of trauma. I speak the blessing of peace over you. The peace, nobody's going to know how you made it through it, but you're going to make it through it peacefully because you're aligned. You're aligned, and you know God is, and you know I am. You know the I am. And in your peace, may there be enlightenment. May the Most High shine upon you and show you every day who you are. I say, have a great day.